Atlantis Scott Lighthouse. Welcome to the Tribe Lighthouse, guys. So I've been talking a lot about, and I know not everybody's into astrology, but I've been talking a lot about Pluto and Aquarius, and I'm not an astrologer, but I pick up a lot of information from some of my own favorite tarot readers that I like to look at. But I want to suggest to you that this is a book that I usually get one every year. It's called The Daily Planetary Guide. I realize it's backwards in the photo, okay? And it is by Llewellyn Publications. They print one every year, and it's complete astrology at a glance. It tells you what's going on in the heavens above us. And guys, that stuff does affect us, okay? So, let me see. I don't know if there's a phone number on here. But anyway, you can look it up at llewellyns.com. It is LLEWELLYN.com, I think it is. And this is an awesome book to tell you what's coming up. It talks, it's got all kind of things in here about, it tells you all about, in astrology, what all the planets mean, what all the zodiac signs mean. It gives you an overview of 2024. Then it gives you a weekly description of what's going to be happening with the planets and what kind of energies are about. Okay, it might help clue you in on some of the things you feel that you don't know what they mean. Okay, I was actually pulling this one out, trying to find something about the meteorite showers. I don't know if they have it in here. I don't think they do. So I'm just going to have to probably hit the internet for it, because I think these meteorite showers, because of what my cards were telling me and my own instincts and angels, I think that's going to mean something. But I just want to read this to y'all. Not all of you are going to be interested in this, but this is the 2024 weekly forecast, and this is 2024 in overview. So I'm just going to read it to y'all, and I'll try to make it as interesting as possible. So we're going to start. After popping in for a trial run for a few months during 2023, Pluto finally moves into Aquarius for good in 2024. This is a major astrological event, so much so that this entire introduction is devoted to it. It takes Pluto 248 years to orbit the sun, meaning its transit of a single sign can take over a decade or two. Therefore, in astrology, Pluto is used to define eras. The era of this, the era of that, right? The previous era we just experienced was Pluto in Capricorn, right? Pluto is the planet of complete, often radical transformation, while Capricorn is a sign of institutional power, right? Governments being the energies and the things we hear about most in the news. Pluto entered Capricorn in 2008 at the very beginning of a financial crisis and is ending its transit of this sign with the COVID pandemic. Y'all think about that. Okay, so it ended with COVID. COVID changed the world's view of everything. Everybody was stuck indoors. Some countries absolutely went. I know I heard some really horrible things coming out of China about, they thought it was coming from cats, and they were going to the zoos and drowning certain types of cats. I actually heard that on the news. And guys, to think about actually to someone trying to wipe out a species, you know what I'm saying, was major. So there was just a lot of things going on. People got locked indoors all over the world. You know, you couldn't travel from one country to another. Planes everything came to a screeching halt for us, right? So, over the last 15 years, the main organizations in our lives, big government, big media, big pharma, big tech, big business, etc., all underwent radical, profound changes. How true is that? Think about that. Okay, all kind of changes. And then they came up with the COVID shot, right? Guys, it takes years and years and years to perfect a vaccination. I'm sorry. And they do say COVID was around for a long time. It's another variation of the flu. You know, all the information out there, you either have to believe it or you don't believe it. It just depends on you as a person, right? Local national powers seem to be losing ground as we moved into a one world model of government with global institutions, often setting policy for the entire planet. Right? The iPhone was invented in 2007, which completely revolutionized online communication. It's hard to remember a time when we weren't addicted to our screens. How many people you see just walking down the phone or driving with their flipping phone in their hand? I have a little holder for mine. You know, and you know, some states have hands free, right? So that you don't get distracted by having your phone in your hand and you create a wreck and kill somebody. You know, so it's with Pluto moving into democratically minded Aquarius, a lot of the overreach of power that was accumulated during the Pluto and Capricorn era could start to see pushback from ordinary people, and we can expect this trend to accelerate over the upcoming years. This is where I've been picking up the energies of certain leaders stepping forth. The way we have cities is going to change. The way, guys, a lot of things are going to change in the next 10, 15 years. As things change that have always been big and up in your face, like elections, and look what's going on with the election right now. I am not a politically minded person, but in the past, 10, 15 years, how much everything have we been seeing from one end of the spectrum to another, right? So just lots of major changes going on all over the world. Everywhere, not just in the United States, everywhere. Okay, so Pluto in Aquarius, pushback from ordinary people, and we can expect it to accelerate over the coming years. Pluto in Aquarius is David fighting Goliath and winning. The last Pluto in Aquarius was from 1777 to 1798. While the U.S. was founded in 76, most of the Revolutionary War, 1775 through 83, took place during Pluto in Aquarius. This entire era was known as the Age of Revolution, as citizens around the globe were inspired what was going on in the U.S. and staged their own democratic rebellions against ossified, I don't know what the word ossified means, guys, unfair regimes. Most famously, the French Revolution overthrew the country's monarchy. You'd have to go look up the French Revolution for that time. The Pluto and Aquarius era prior to this one was from 1532 to 1553. Okay? The height of the Reformation in Europe, a time when the newly formed Protestant movement, this is the churches, stood up against the hierarchy of the Roman Catholic Church. This era was ushered in by Henry VIII's secret marriage to Anne Boleyn and saw the Church of England break away from Rome. Okay? Pluto in Aquarius represents progress against tyranny, but it can also usher in its own cult-like, zealous authoritarianism. Think of the reign of terror that followed the French Revolution. However many countries transitioned more peacefully, this is not a given. Okay, but more a cautionary tale to beware of. Aquarius also rules technology, so we can expect the digital realm to be used in even more tyrannical ways to control us. Who hasn't had a scammer pop up? Okay, in some sort of way. If you don't have enough viewers on YouTube and you haven't had one pop up on your channel, you've had them pop up in your email trying to, get you to, trying to screw you over somehow or take advantage of you, right? A lot of people have had hacks. I've had several friends that over the past couple of years have been hacked on Facebook, been hacked on other types of social media. Just hackers all over the place, right? Scammers galore, okay? From social credit scores to digital currencies that can be used to track and limit what we spend our money on, technology may become an increasingly authoritarian force in our lives. I may not pronounce that right, just go with the flow, guys. As the world becomes more and more globalized, individuals may try to reorganize their local environments so they can be around people who share their same ideals. Guys, they've been telling me that, showing me this Emerald City, and just a huge, even more so, between the haves and the have-nots. You're either homeless, barely making it, or you're doing really, really well, right? There's really no in-between anymore. Whereas a husband and wife a wife stay home, raise the kids, and the husband work and pay for a house, it now takes two people, right? Or even more. Sometimes working 2 and 3 jobs, unless you went to college or you moved up in a company. I mean, it takes a lot to be able to buy a house these days. Interest rates, all that stuff, right? Okay? So instead of living in geographical configuration with others who have polar opposite views of life, on life and living. So what they're saying right there is, they're talking about instead of being in huge places like, where everybody goes to, New York, for example, with a certain dream, a certain idea. Now, some of the open country land, I think, is going to be people are going to be opening up these homesteads and these connected homesteads. I know of a commercial I saw last year about this husband and wife went out and bought, I don't know how many acres of land, and then sold off parcels to teach people how to run their own homestead so they didn't have to depend on the government for nothing. No electric company, no water piped in. They did everything, made everything themselves. Going back to a very simple type of living, right? Overall, Pluto and Aquarius will represent a change for average people to stand up and take back control over encroachments by government and technology. Guys, I'm sorry, but they keep showing me. Oh, that's just absolutely horrible, guys. Okay, they keep showing me Arnold Schwarzenegger. And what was it, The War of the Machines? Okay, where technology's so taken over that now the robots are running things, and these people are jumping in and out through wormholes, time. If you haven't seen that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, actually there was 3 of them. The first one had, oh my God, Linda, what's her name? Linda, I can't remember her last name. Beautiful woman. Oh my gosh, beautiful woman. Anyway, they did 3 of the Terminator movies, okay? Go check out the Terminator movies. Even at that, because of other certain people I won't name, go look at the other Arnold Schwarzenegger, who used to be the governor of California, played in all those movies. He also played in that Mars movie, where they went to colonize Mars. All right, and the government came in and tried to control the air, and then they found that there used to be aliens there at one time. Guys, if you haven't ever seen that, and Total Recall. Go see that movie, or go look at that movie, okay? So, this Pluto transit will last until 2044, guys. This is 2024, 30, 40. I may or may not still be here. I'm 60 years old, okay? Amazing progress can be achieved over the next 2 decades as people rise up against oppression to usher in a more egalitarian, democratic, idealist society that is of the people and for the people. America started out that way. Right? But now it's not that way, right? Okay, so that is their description, and it's Llewellyn's of, and this is, oh, I have to give credit where credit's due. 2024 weekly forecast by Michelle Perrin, aka Astrology Detective. I love that. Overview of 2024. Michelle, you did an awesome job. I doubt you'll ever see this video, but you did an awesome job. So guys, check this out. And also, this book also gives you, they give you actually, they've changed it up a bit since last year's, but they also tell you planets when the planets are visible. Okay, so you know what energies may be a little more. And then they go through each one. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus. Okay, so they go through and they tell you about those. They also have in here the moon. Okay, moon void, of course. In case you don't know, anytime the moon is void, and if y'all don't know what that is, go look it up. Anytime the moon is void is not a time to start something new, because the planet is not, the moon isn't in an energy or a specific sign, and it's just kind of, ooh, you may get what you want and you may not. So knowing where these planets are, and if you're not into astrology, that's okay, but it might actually help enlighten you onto why some things have not opened up for you or have not worked for you. If you go back and say, well, gee, let me see, well, gee, in January I tried to do this, the moon was void. That might be an explanation. Some people don't believe in astrology. This is going to depend on the person, okay? But I just wanted to turn y'all onto the book. There is also a place in here where you can have notes. There's a blank horoscope in here. If you want to go to astro.com and you have to have your birth time, the place you were born, and I think your gender and the city and state that you were born. And you can put that in and they will do you up a chart. And it's free. And they will tell you where it is. You can take that, after you look it up on Google, you can go to your phone and you can then take this chart and then put everything in there. Okay? Which will give you more insight into how your life may or may not work depending on decisions that you make. But it will tell you the overall energies. Okay, guys? And there's a lot of more in here. You'll just have to get one and see. But I get one every year. Sometimes I forget about it for a while, and I go and I look at it and I go, oh, well, no wonder why that didn't work. I didn't think to look for the void moons. But it depends on if you believe it or not. Because not everybody believes that the planets influence us. Guys, they do influence you. The rain influences you. Lightning storms influence you. If it's dry or wet outside, it influences you. Of course, that's the weather. If, just depending on, like they say full moons, actually full moons in Christmas time, more people commit suicide than any other time of the year. Because it's the holidays. full moon. The planet is pulling on us. But okay, I'm not going to get into the whole thing about astrology. I'm just saying, okay. But I just wanted to tell y'all about this book and point out that this is a very good book to go and look stuff up. And there's other ones too. There's Judith. Oh God, what's Judith's last name? She has one that you can go look up on. You can look up Moon Void of Course calendar on Google, and it will lead you to Judith. I can't remember her last name, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm 61 years, almost 61. Give me a break. So anyway, she will. She has one that she uploads to that you can download to your phone, or if you have Pinterest, you can put it on your Pinterest page so you can see when the different things are going on. It's a wonderful thing to have. So, but again, it just depends on, some people are writers and want to write down and course out everything of what's going on with them, or want to journal every day. Other people go, you know what, I do it once a week and that's it, or if I know that there's going to be something major like a full moon, I go and I look that up or do whatever. So take it how it resonates for you. I just wanted to share some knowledge. Guys, Lana Scott, Lighthouse Tribe.